All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. It's Pastor Dow. Well, Donald Trump has won the elections, and I was doing everything I could this morning to try to read a bunch of emails early so I could try my best to keep the people who are interested in what I have to say informed. Because after all, my interest is in self-preservation, mutually assistance, surrounding yourself with people who you can trust, which is getting very scarce in the time that we're living in. Very scarce. So now that Trump has won the election, well, we still have a few months left before the actual inauguration, before he actually gets allegedly so-called ordained. And of course, he's going to have a cabinet he's got to pick. That'll be very interesting who he picks for that cabinet. That would be very interesting, especially since George W. Bush and all their cronies and everybody else pretty much ostracized him. That's the Republicans now. They wanted his support. I remember Donald Trump supported Mitt Romney in 2012, and then you look and see what Mitt Romney did. Woo, man, I tell you, man, are these people serpents or what? But anyway, so what do we do as the people from here? Well, my personal opinion is, and it's not going to stop, I don't think that you can ever be prepared enough for what's coming. I advocate that people do not live in population centers. And the reason being is because it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous living in population centers, especially if something takes place. You're not going to get out. It was just, mid-year this year, I was in New York and New Jersey and Philadelphia. And man, I looked at all the congestion up there with all them people stacked up on top of each other like sardines. And then, of course, when I went up there, I flew up there. And of course, they're communist states where you can't have firearms. And so I felt completely unprotected and naked as hell. And so I was glad to get back to Tennessee. I promise you. But my sentiments has not changed one bit. I advocate that you should get away from people. In other words, get out of the city. I still think that the borrower is a servant to the lender, and I think you should get out of debt. Do not go out here and stack up extraordinary amount of debt because, you can't depend on this system to be benevolent and for them to do right. Even though it's non-constitutional, you got people, these rogue judges that are going off, locking people up in debt prison, making them trying to pay. And do everything you can in your power to not contract with the government, because they like giving you stuff called benefits. But you better believe there are strings attached to those benefits that later on you will not realize what has happened to you until they start calling you up on it. And you know what? They deal with us so wisely that they never even really truly tell us why that they have authority over us and why they're punishing us through our ignorance. They just do it. And if you get an attorney or something like that, they'll just quickly remind him of the law, and then you paid a lot of money for an attorney and you lose anyway. But I still think that you ought to get food, reliable shelter, ammo. I wonder why my horn don't work. These dang dogs out here. Food, shelter, reliable ammo. Store some gasoline. Buy guns and get plenty of bullets. Because remember, guns are no good with bullets. Without bullets, excuse me. I don't trust one bit what's going on in this country just because Donald Trump has been elected. I'm under no illusion whatsoever at all that things are really going to change because I already know the condition that we're in. And to make the kind of changes that he's advocating as a country, we're going to have to feel a lot of pain first. And I mean an extraordinary amount of pain. And I think you ought to protect yourself. I really should. I really, truly think you should. I don't too much advocate, how do you say it, in the hour that we're living in? How do you really, truly say it? Let me go this route. You have to become a person of truth. I can't do that for you. You have to have the spirit of truth to be able to recognize it when it's told. And then and only then can you go from there. And then the parting of the waters, you'll be able to see what's over the horizon. But you're going to have to cross over the Rubicon in order to get it done, though. And this system has done something to us. I mean, literally, it's done something to our minds. And whenever you come out of the matrix, they make you feel strange for coming out of it. It's the only recourse you have for happiness going forward. So let's keep our eyes peeled of what, excuse me, these Democrats and everybody else is going to do until Trump gets in. And remember, I think that Republicans not only got the House, but they got the Senate as well. Matter of fact, I think they got a Republican sweep all the way around. And the news media, don't trust them. Man, you'd be better off turning them off. Use alternatives. So if you're going to trust some news media, you'd be better off trusting in sources outside this country like RT and Al Jazeera. And it's sad to say, but it's just the truth. Have a wonderful day.